Good morning. We had an issue. Reese gave us a phone call there, and the phone call led to killing the audio on the live stream. So, had to do a little restart there. A little remix chat. So, now that we're back, let's go ahead and get talking. Let's get talking, showing off, showing what we got going. Ooh, we almost lost the phone there. We got audio now, boy. We got audio now, boy. But yeah, guys, good morning. It's just another lovely day in the garage. So I got this little light from my wife, my stocking. She put a little stocking together for me this year. Got like a little Milwaukee marker, this little light, these little fucking safety sleeves. Cause my wrists always get fucked up when we're doing this shit. Or not my wrists, but my arms. I don't know if you guys can see that on there, but they're all fucking. We'll see. We'll see if these work. Protect me from the sparks, man. And then she got me this light, this little light. Very unsuspecting little guy right here. Right, so it does that way, does that way. It's coming out the side. It's got a magnet on it. Check this out. So you guys can see kind of how it looks in the cab, right? It's kind of dark. Let's put this fucking light up here. Fucking ta-da. Daylight up in here. I'm gonna flip the camera around. Yeah, straight daylight up in there. Don't believe me, just watch. No light. No light. Bam, we can see in here now. There we go, morning. What did I spell morning wrong or something? But yeah, so just taking it slow, getting started for today. So showing off kind of what we got done yesterday. These two guys went in right here. And then we got kind of mapped out what we're gonna do with the seats. Gotta go hit ORW later. I called them. They've got some tabs for the front and rear seats we can go check out. We went ahead and measured up before we closed out last night. This measurement for this floor bar here, we've got a measurement. We're gonna do a bar across there straight. We can hear you now, dumbass. Yeah, sorry guys, Reese called me and then it kind of killed the audio. So we also got a measurement from here to here, our C-pillar, vertical measurement. We measured the other door bar. They're 1/2 inch off. So I'm glad we measured everything rather than just assuming they were the same. If I take you over to my notepad here, or Colin's notepad rather, show you guys kind of what we did. We got C-pillar vertical. We got the B verticals measured. We figured out the angle for the B verticals. We got the A to B floor measurements. We got the A to B roof measurement. We got the B to C roof measurement. And then we wrote out everything we needed to do, step by step. And these last couple steps get a little, these are pretty detailed. And then these last ones get a little jumbled. We're probably realistically at like 25 steps. But if you look here, alongside the step I have start the dash. And right about here on the step list, we can go to the desert. Right about here on the step list, we can really go to the desert. Now we got to finish these undetailed steps before it's really done. But this right here is all the tubes are in, seats are in. So we're close, guys. we're close. We're close. So I'm gonna flip the camera back around. Go move this table around and such over here and kind of get everything going. A little kind of another recap of while Colin was working yesterday. I spent a good chunk of the day reorganizing the workbench here in the garage because it was in a state of disarray, and it was becoming very frustrating to function on and have workable space outside of like this worktop here with the saw on it. So kind of I'll show you guys what I've done. Flip the camera back around. Dash cover needs to go in before the windshield on Monday. Dash cover? Before the windshield on Monday, yes. Oh yeah, no, putting the dash in with the windshield already in would be a bitch. You are correctamundo. I've got a windshield guy scheduled for Monday at 3 to 5 p.m. coming to put a new windshield in. But let's take a look at the workbench here. So we've got kind of like personal effects and safety items, headlamps, tube transfers, quarters light sign, angle finders, stuff like that that you don't want to lose. Miscellaneous storage, and then coming over here is kind of little show off section of everything that was my father-in-law's. We got a Happy Dad sign. We got a Coors Light sign. And then, all right. So, but yeah, pretty cool so far. We're really fucking close. We are really fucking close, chat. Dash cover needs to go in. Yep, it sure does. So the plan today was to kind of get in the we're gonna work front to back. So if I'll read off my our checklist that we made here. We're gonna do the passenger door bar, we're gonna do the driver door bar, and then we're gonna do the front. We're gonna do the A to B top roof bar that runs this way across the truck, and then at that point I have start dash. So I'll help Colin knock out those first couple steps, then I'll jump into starting the dash while Colin works on the passenger B vertical and the driver B vertical to finish those. We figured out how to measure and cut that angle. It's actually, what we figured out is we were trying to like, okay, what type of cut is it, right? And we've determined it's a miter, but not a 45 miter. I have this website that I found that does angle calculations. And what was pretty cool is, you know, what you learn in geometry is like if you have a 30, I don't know how to explain this good. If you have a 30-degree angle, then the inverse, the rest of that angle up to 180 degrees would be, you know, 30 minus 180, the inverse angle is going to be 150. So we're looking at this like 20-degree angle, and I go into the calculator and it says, well, you can only do 30 to 180. Okay, well, the opposite of 20 is going to be 160. And we looked at the 160 cut, the way the diagram it prints out for you to template and everything, and it makes a lot of sense that it would actually be a 160-degree angle, not a 20-degree angle, because what we're looking at is this joint right here. So to follow this pillar up this way would not be a 20-degree angle. A 20-degree angle would be very acute, right? So we obviously need the opposite end of that 20-degree angle for that wide open, obtuse angle. So we're gonna print out some templates, test it on some of our scrap tube, just to make sure we know what we're doing, and then recreate it on the real thing. And while he's fucking around with that, I'll be fucking around with the dash. Gonna have to cut things out, burn things out, make it fit, right? And then we'll need some of Lance's plastic welding expertise. So Lance, Colin's dad, has this little Hyundai Veloster, a little lemon law car, if you will, and through owning that, he's become quite the master of plastic welding, I hear. So I'm in. You know, my stepdad actually bought one that was used, a Veloster, and I don't know what year the Veloster was, but well, it had to have been that year. It had to have been like 2015-ish. No, because that's when we got that truck. So maybe 13 or 14. Bought a Veloster. It was used, had like 7,000 miles on it. And day 5 or 6 of going to work with it, it blew up. And it was some kind of recall caused the malfunction, so they were going to get him a new motor from Korea. It was going to take like 6 months, so they ended up buying the car back from him. And so yeah, we had a Veloster for like a week or two. Yours is a 2015? Okay. Yeah, so it couldn't have been a 2015 though, because he bought this truck new. As a 2015. So, oh no, it might have been a 2015 because that might have been, he got the Hyundai, it blew up, then he got the truck. I'm not sure. There was kind of my parents jumbled through cars a lot. Kind of like you, Lance. Bad thrust bearings was common. That sounds kind of familiar. But yeah, motherfucker exploded. And then he got this truck. And then, long story short, I ended up getting the truck from him. I had a 87 Blazer was my first car. Had a little 2.7 piece of shit in it that no matter what you did, the rear main seal leaked most of the time from the factory. And so it never got to park in the driveway. And once we went through the motor and redid all the bearings and got rid of the knock in the motor because the rear main bearing was singed from my older sister who owned it previously, not taking care of it, I drove the shit out of it and started to destroy the transmission. So that and several breakdowns later, I finally said, hey, get me a new car. I'm tired of breaking down once a month, or you know, being stuck, or having to get towed, or da-da-da-da-da. You know, I learned my lesson on my shitty car. Can I buy a new one? I have a job. Da-da. So we go buy a new car, Ford Fiesta. Year later, my sister passed away and gave one of the cars that she had from my stepdad back to him. He was like, well, I got too many cars. I'm gonna get rid of this truck. So, hey, buddy, he's like doing the dishes one day. I walk in the kitchen. He's like, hey, dude, I'm going to get rid of my truck. So either you get rid of your car and take my truck, or I'm getting rid of my truck. And the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? 1971 Pinto was my first car. Sheesh. Is that the badge you said you have last night? The Pinto badge? Is that from your first car? I have the somewhere. You chose wisely, yeah, right? Imagine we're rallying out a Fiesta all these years later. I have the glove box from my Blazer somewhere, because the original glove box was broken and we ended up replacing it, and I just kept it as like my souvenir. Wow, that's cool. Badge from the original first car from fucking, when did you have that car? 1980 something? When did you have that? Wow, a Pinto? Sheesh. Sheesh, a Pinto? Don't, as long as it wasn't a Pontiac. Our friend's dad has a fun name for what Pontiac stands for. Mom bought it new in 71. Oh, wow. So it was in the family the whole time. Sheesh. Yeah, my dad had a 69 RS Camaro that was bought new in the family. And freaking, it was like 10 years old, I think, when by the time, or 18 years old by the time he got a hold of it, because he was born in like 59. And then, so he was driving in the 70s. But yeah, my dad had a 69 Camaro. One of their family cars was like a 58 Bel Air. They had a lot of fucking cool ass cars that were just like, oh yeah, we had one of those. And yeah, it got old and we got something new. And it's like, fuck, man. $3,100. Yeah, well, that was like 50 grand back then. Oh, man. All right, get some productivity going. I'm kind of feeling a little alive here. Get the JBL out. Ugh. But $3,100. That's what I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep that little Gen 1 hard body down there, and I'm gonna, instead of turning the Goblin into a toy, I'm gonna put, I might still cage it, I don't know, but what I'm thinking is I'm gonna turn it into a like new daily driver. Like deck it out, Apple CarPlay, new suspension, not like, you know, race suspension or anything, but just kind of dial it all in, rebuild the interior, make it look fresh, rebuild the motor, and have a brand new car for somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe like $5,000 to $10,000 on a build. Brand new car with a shitty exterior, little like sleeper style build. Get to work, boy. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, is because I don't have a car right now. I just have this truck and my work car. So I'm thinking I take that little Goblin and I just fucking resto it, but not original resto, like fucking resto mod, and make it a freaking sweet little daily driver. I'm cold. Might need to get a jacket. What do you think of that, Lance? I think I'm done buying new cars. I think I'm just gonna buy old cars and make them new. Let's consult the list. First, let's get some stuff out of the way, like these seats. Boy. Where can I put these things? Where can I put them? Beat them till I see them. Probably put them over here. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. It's a good idea. He's in on it. Let's make Big Blue a toy, and then let's buy another Chevy HHR and deck it out. Remember the HHR? That thing was sick. Didn't Sean buy it? If I lived here when you were selling the HHR, I probably would have bought it. I don't know why I liked that car so much, but I did. Everybody hated driving that thing. We had 22 of them. Yeah, I remember Christian would always be like, I'm not driving that death trap. That thing was sweet. You couldn't see shit in traffic, but that thing was sweet. Okay, seats are out of the way. Oh, music, duh. All right. Music. Just like music. What do we want? What do we need? What are we doing? We're gonna play it off of the laptop here. All right, guys, hold on a second. I'm over here. Just like music. Do-do-do-do. Bluetooth. Connect. Just like music. Pandora. Okay. Rude. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay, this I might be able to work with here. Yeah, that might be okay. What do we think of that? Nice little. Boy. Passenger door bar. $40 plus 290s. 290s. There's also going to be a little test too, chat, of how the little black guy here this little does when we're sawing. This little guy right here. How it affects everything. We shall see. Hold on. Sorry guys, we're moving around too much. Let me get this figured out here. Yeah. There we go. Whew. It's fucking cold over here next to the fucking fuck. It's cold, chat. It is cold outside. Need a marker. Oh, shit, I've had this Nissan Frontier, I think, for almost a decade now. Almost a decade, chat. Let's see here. What year did I get that truck? That had to have been, it was before I started working for Lance. I started working for Lance in 2020, so I want to say it was 19. Yeah, I got the truck and Lauren in 2019. Both of them, same time. Knocked it out of the park, you know what I'm saying? It was a good year. But, so it's only been like 6 years I've had this thing, or 5. 6 years, going into 25. I got it at the beginning of 19. Hold on, let me mark this. So if I got the truck at the beginning of 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. And I owned it for a solid 5 before I really did anything substantial to it. Solid 5 years. I wanted Colin's tube transfer, that's why I came over here. This guy right here, tube transfer. This is a bigger tube, probably like 1.5" or 1 3/4. That fits over the top of this tube. That makes it easy to do this. Get a nice straight line. Labeled. And I have enough to cut the other side when I'm done. Oh yeah, definitely before the windshield. Sheesh. Definitely before the windshield. All the welding needs to be done. All of the welding up there needs to be done. Needs to be done. Skis. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. Let me know how it sounds, guys. It's probably not gonna sound great. But, we'll see if it sounds any better this way. 'Cause I was born this way.